So let's cut to the chase, people. Let's be real here. Is Lady Eileen Belsarian Erza's mama? Because this chapter just looked like, yo, it makes so much sense. The Scarlet, Erza Scarlet, everything about it connects, and I mean, she looks just like her, and she's a MILF at that, people. I guess Jalal should be happy to see her because he's gonna be like, oh, in about 10-20 years, this is what I'm gonna be hitting. So this chapter did a lot of good, couple of because a lot of the fights that were going on with some of the previous people that were revived or whatever the hell happened with them, basically them being recreated by Nineheart, some of the fights were kind of meh. I mean, the one with was actually pretty good. It was once again showing the development that Gray and Leon had as people. I mean, in the beginning of the series, there's no way in hell, not even just power-wise, but mentally, they would have been able to take down They just wouldn't have, but it showcased something pretty big, I think, in Gray as well, especially that he has gone through that hurdle now of one of his ultimate goals, because, you know, Gray had a couple different goals in mind, and I think that this leaves him with only one goal left after this, because he wanted to surpass It was even mentioned in the chapter. He wanted to surpass and he did, both mentally and emotionally and strength-wise. I think he accomplished one of those big goals of like getting there, and it just was a really good demonstration of who Gray has become opposed to who he was at the beginning of the series, which leaves one other thing left for Gray, and that's the END stuff that he wants to handle, finishing off End, because this was one of his ultimate goals from the beginning of the series, you know, surpassing and kind of making up for what he did in the past, you know, the mistakes he made. So definitely a good demonstration of Gray's character development. Stuff with Wendy, I was just kind of like, it was real cheesy seeing Carla crying, oh, I'm always gonna be your legs and this and that. I was like, really? Like, so cheesy. And I mean, her taking down her opponent very quick, even though she was injured, couldn't even move her legs. I was like, I guess it shows that she did train her ass off in the last year, so that way she could take him out even easier than what happened last time. But I was just kind of like, ew, it wasn't the greatest fight in the world. And then Juvia and Melody having that power up, it actually made sense why they would be able to defeat their opponents, because they had that linked power up or whatever, but their fight wasn't anything special. It wasn't a bad fight. It was just kind of like one of those off-screen whatever. The fight that I was just a bit disappointed on, and it's not even actually what happened, it was what we didn't get to see, was Loxus versus Hades. I wanted to see Hades go in. I thought that this was a perfect opportunity to see Hades go in, and we didn't get to see Hades go in, so I'm disappointed in that regard. I mean, Loxus, he's a beast. I didn't expect anything other than him defeating Hades, but I mean, these recreations that Nineheart made, it's kind of like they're not even nowhere near as strong as they were when they were alive. I mean, I don't know if it's illusions, I don't know if it's memories, whatever the hell it is, they're not what they were when they were alive, so that's probably why these fights were a bit easier than they would have been if like Hades was actually standing right there, the real Hades, and fought Loxus. And I ain't gonna lie, it was badass and showcased how much Jalal really cares about Erza when he was like, I'm about to commit one more sin, and he goes crazy using his Grand Chariot. That was actually really fucking hype. I really respected that because it shows how much he cares about Erza. Like, bottom line, he fucking loves that woman and he's gonna do whatever, and especially to see her hurt like that, oh Nineheart, you're getting your fucking little ass whipped. And another good thing of character development as well, yet again with Kagura, I mean, I think it was last chapter, the chapter before that, seeing her actually saving Jalal instead of killing him, which that's been her, you know, motive, like, you know, I gotta get him back for what he did to my brother, but then actually her killing Simone, even though it really wasn't him, or Simon, whatever the hell you want to call him, her brother, is like, yeah, that's not my brother, that's her getting over the hurdle of the emotional hurt that she felt about losing her brother. So that was huge character development on her side again. Pretty good character development in this chapter. I mean, Gray and Leon, seeing where they've come, and then seeing Kagura in this chapter, and then even seeing Jalal, how much he really loves Erza, like a lot of good stuff there. But then the end of the chapter, the bombshell is what made this chapter, honestly, because some of the fights, you know, with the previous people was like, but some of them were okay, and then these revelations and character development is what made the chapter. But like, yo, when Natsu's like, I'm gonna go get the strongest, I'm gonna go for August, and then Miss Brandish comes out and like, he's the strongest dude, but then there's a chick, Eileen Belsarian, and then we see her like, come on. I mean, between the hints that we got at the beginning of the chapter with Nineheart saying she's Eileen Belsarian's and then dies or whatever, is like, that's probably Erza's mother or older sister or cousin, relative, definitely something there, but I'm leaning more towards mother. That's probably Erza's mother, which that's gonna be sick. And it's kind of interesting if you think about it. Gray is always paired up with somebody else and what they're going through. Like in Tartarus, he was fighting against his father and he lost his father, and Natsu kind of lost his father as well, the shit with Igneel and stuff like that. And then now he had to basically fight his surrogate mother, and seemingly Erza might have to fight her mother as well. So it's kind of interesting in that regard. I mean, overall chapter, very good stuff. Great character development for a couple of different characters. Fights were some of them were but the revelation at the end of the chapter, huge stuff there. I want to say 8.5 out of 10 10 for this chapter. Very, very good stuff as far as like we could actually see some really awesome fight right here with Erza versus her mother and finally finding out her backstory. How did she get into where she was when we seen her in the beginning of the manga, and a lot of good stuff. So yeah, really hyped. Let me know what you guys think. First of all, do you think Eileen Belsarion is actually Erza's mother? What do you think about some of the fights that went down in this chapter? What do you think about Grand Chariot smashing Nineheart down? Like, finally we got to see Jalal go all out, and I was like, yes, commit that sin, bro. And your overall thoughts of the chapter. But thanks for watching. If you enjoyed anything about this video, make sure to drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and stalk my Facebook to get more when the video ends. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.